Belediye kızı.
There are no rules but one. Drink Jägermeister at minus 18 degrees Celsius.
So dreams and nightmares are frequently featured in your storytelling, followed by seamlessly blending genres and creating visually stunning and thought-provoking panels. But how do you approach the process of crafting such layered stories?
I think like layers. That's a complex question with probably quite a complex answer. But I think that's kind of what the job is in terms of giving readers their money worth. Because if you're picking something up that's $4 and 22 pages or 20 pages, then you need to be handed something that has like some depth to it, something that has been thought through. It's almost closer to poetry than it is to prose in terms of you're trying to use the economy of the space you have. God, I'm boring myself, but you're trying to use the space you have to tell as much story as possible, but then also without, pacing is a thing. So you're trying to do that without just filling every page with 12 panels and, each panel with 3 balloons of dialogue, because that's no fun to read either. So it's all about using the images and the words and what you can imply in between the two, trying to make something that's satisfying both as a service level story and thematically, without also trying to beat the reader over the head with theme or trying to make that too much of a conscious thing, because I think that always tends to be feel a little bit happy and a little bit sentimental usually.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you should. I like to read things that are they have theme, but they need to be, for me to enjoy a little bit. There's need to be a little subtlety in them. Do you agree that that should be kind of a goal, that we shouldn't make things that were so obvious, so to speak?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have a sort of like bugbear with storytelling that I feel is a little too like didactic. Like it's a little bit too much like a sort of you can always sort of feel when a writer sets out with like, okay, I'm going to tell you how the world works, because I don't think any of us know that well, and for us to talk about anything with that kind of confidence, or anything that we can talk about with that kind of confidence, it tends to be where it's like, well, okay, but your reader probably knows that too. You're not telling them anything new, or you're not exploring anything new. So theme in that kind of way, it's always something that it's not something that should be entirely unconscious, because that can also just be a cop out of you don't bother to like find one, or you don't bother to like look for one. But it should be something that sort of reveals itself to you when you're crafting something. And also you shouldn't necessarily go in with knowing exactly how that's going to play out. Like, not that you shouldn't know the end of your story, because I think it's important to have like a solid understanding of where you're sort of headed with something, but it should there should be wiggle room, and it should also not always play out the way that, not that you quote unquote want it to as a storyteller, because you are in control of that, but it's not always just about saying like, this is how I think the world works. It's more about, this is how I feel the world is, if that makes sense.
We stay genuine, uncensored and unscripted, and we always will, as we have to order our usual. Share us and subscribe us, and stay tuned until the next Wednesday. Iguzo!